The situation in California is spiraling, friends. Not only have National Guard troops been called up in California, nationalized, now we are getting confirmations from NORTHCOM that the 79th Infantry Brigade combat team has started deploying to downtown Los Angeles. We got lots of reports coming in. We got a lot of information we need to cover about what's happening out in Los Angeles. We got the latest. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and we're covering the news the mainstream media is brushing under the rug. All right, friends, let's get right into it. We got the Attorney General of California out there saying that there is, quote, no emergency, that President Trump, by deploying and activating the National Guard, is instigating some sort of crisis in California. We, like I said, Northern Command, which covers the United States and North America. It's called NORTHCOM as opposed to CENTCOM, which is over in the Middle East, Central Command. We got Southcom and stuff, different areas of the world that the U.S. military forces have centralized commands. NORTHCOM commands the United States. And NORTHCOM has confirmed via Twitter that they have deployed elements already of the 79th Infantry Brigade combat team to Los Angeles. There are lots of videos showing up on Twitter, as well as a bunch of stuff showing up over on the abomination of, what is that thing called? TikTok, that's it, TikTok. A bunch of live video streams happening out there. Lots of protesters outside the ICE building there in downtown Los Angeles. It's a federal building, and the National Guard has deployed outside there. They are carrying rifles as well as batons. They're carrying wooden bats for riot control. They have face masks, face shields on, but they are definitely National Guard, and they're not equipped with the same kind of good riot gear that a lot of police forces have. This is much more hardcore wooden bats with their battle rifles. So now there are people with less than lethal weapons behind the main line that seem to be, I don't know whether they're paintball guns with the pepper balls in them or rubber balls. But there definitely are less than lethal options on that are deployed. There's also a mix of federal officers there too, but definitely National Guard has been deployed. Now, what's going on in Los Angeles? We have the Union del Barrio. Basically, it's BLM for Mexico. So these guys are there. This is being organized, funded, and coordinated. This is not just some spontaneous protests out there. This is an active campaign to organize people. It's well funded, and the media is out there eating it up, of course. And they're out there saying that President Trump is instigating this by deploying the National Guard. The National Guard is literally just encircling the federal building down there. They're keeping people from attacking the federal building. This is not instigating things. They're not going after the crowd, but federal officers have in recent yesterday, particularly there were arrests by federal officers by protesters who were throwing things at the federal officers. They did detain people and arrest people who were attacking the officers. And we're seeing lots of shady things that we've seen before. Pallets of cinder blocks appeared near the federal building because pallets of cinder blocks are always just sitting out there, and the protesters were making use of that, going and taking the pavers, their cinder block pavers, so they weren't like the big cinder blocks, they're like smaller ones that you can break and then you can throw the pieces. You got sharp angled pieces. This is not a just spontaneous combustion of people out there. The situation of that supposedly sparked this whole thing ICE going out there and detaining people have been going on since forever. I mean, during the Biden administration, they were even detaining people. Back during the Obama administration, they were deporting more people than during the Trump administration. But we got Maxine Waters out there, the Congress lady person, they, them, whatever, showing up there, and she's out there instigating stuff right in front of the federal building as of the shooting of this video. We got protesters lighting Los Angeles on fire, ICE, the protesters throwing bricks at federal officers and concrete blocks. We got them attacking buildings and setting fire to buildings. We've seen video footage of them organizing Molotov cocktails, which we have an ATF, don't we? What's the legal classification of Molotov cocktails? Maybe the ATF should look into that, yeah? Because the ATF wants to go after YouTubers and stuff that do that kind of stuff. But when people are actually using those against federal officers and federal buildings, it seems like the ATF is nowhere to be found. We got other news coming out of Los Angeles too. Kelly Loeffler of the Small Business Administration posted on Twitter that Los Angeles is openly refusing to cooperate with ICE. Therefore, effective immediately, the SBA Gov, Small Business Administration, will begin relocating its regional office out of Los Angeles. A tag underneath that: if a city won't protect its people, we won't stay. We're not getting reports of other federal agencies moving out of Los Angeles, but the law enforcement agencies are definitely not moving out of Los Angeles at this time. Gavin Newsom, the California governor, also out there saying that there's no problem, that this is just, that everything's under control. We're seeing out there that they're saying, the Attorney General saying that the police have the resources that they need. They don't need the National Guard deployed. And yet President Trump is out there seeing what's going on and is not liking what's happening. We got saying basically that if Los Angeles and California cannot control this problem and won't control the problem, that the federal government will handle the problem. Defense Secretary Hegseth threatening to not only deploy National Guard, but saying that if the situation isn't rapidly improving, that he will deploy Marines from Fort Pendleton. Now that's just outside Los Angeles, and he said that the Marines there have been put on high alert, that they are prepared to deploy. Now, active duty Marines deploying to a city inside the United States to put down an insurrection, it's been a long time since we've seen that. Now, Maxine Waters out in front of the federal building saying words like civil war, demanding that the rioting protesters be given citizenship. I don't know what has gotten into her head or what she thinks is going on, but the fact that they have rioters attacking a federal building is not really going to result in concessions made. You look at what happened during the Civil War, where states, militias, state-activated or mustered units attacking federal facilities like Fort Sumter. How did that go? And I know we don't like to think of President Trump necessarily as a Lincoln-type figure, but we're starting to see something not too dissimilar. We're seeing NGOs funded by the federal government as well as state governments, including California, such as the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights. This is an NGO, a nonprofit organization, which has received millions of dollars in federal funding They are actively, and other NGOs also doing this, are funding and organizing these protests. I don't know if we're going to be able to track back any of these cinder block deliveries to any of these nonprofits, but the fact that we have taxpayer-funded organizations instigating riots inside and attacking federal buildings and federal officers is serious. We had just yesterday, one of the things that I kind of started covering the beginning of it, we didn't see the end of it. Not only were they blocking a U.S. Marshal Service bus, but they then proceeded to attack the U.S. Marshal Service's bus, attacking it while there were federal officers inside. They surrounded the bus and were attacking, damaging the windows, and just a very bad situation. We have reports that we're going to have 2,000 National Guard deployed in this first wave. Now, we're just seeing just the first few of these troops being deployed. Now, it's important to note that these are infantry soldiers. These are not logistics. This is not a bunch of guys who are deploying that are going to be focused on support activities. They're not going to be doing paperwork. These are infantrymen and infantry women, I imagine. So we have infantry soldiers being deployed. Now, the National Guard is a civil kind of force, so it can do policing actions if necessary. It will be a big step if we have active duty Marines deployed. And Defense Secretary Hegseth says that the Trump administration is actively considering that option, and that's why they have put the troops there at Fort Pendleton on alert so that they can rapidly deploy. So before they get deployed overseas, they get put on alert. They need to get their home affairs in order so that they can then deploy. But in this case, they're not going to be deploying very far. They're going to be deploying to Los Angeles. Now, we have word that these protests are going to be spread to other cities. And considering that this is financed and organized and coordinated, I would expect this to spread to other cities. And it's going to be focusing in on federal buildings and federal offices. They're going to be focusing primarily on ICE officers, but apparently they're going to be looking at all any kind of federal agencies, right? So that's going to be the ire that they're focusing on. One of the things that I would point out is also happening out there that is being organized by these NGOs is that they are intentionally attacking unauthorized photographers and videographers. People who are taking pictures and who are trying to record videos of these people, they are being intentionally attacked. Their cameras are being taken and smashed. They are being physically assaulted. Independent media, as well as citizen journalists who are trying to film and such, if they haven't been approved by Antifa and others, they are being attacked. They are trying to control the video and the pictures coming out. This is a dramatically escalating situation. We are also being told that by President Trump that if this doesn't come under control soon, that there will be steps taken. So we have Molotov cocktails. We have threats to the... President Trump has threatened now that if California Governor Newsom and LA Mayor Bass do not get this under control, if they go too far, that they will be arrested. That's other big news out there. Can you imagine what would happen if the President of the United States orders the California governor arrested from his residence? If federal officers or federal troops go to the governor's mansion, kick in the door, and take him by force? This is the situation that's unfolding as we speak. Is it going to de-escalate? I don't know. But the people on the street seem to want to escalate it further. And President Trump doesn't seem to be inclined at all to back down. In fact, he's rather upset and ready to roll. So we have assets, military assets being deployed. And this could go a lot further, especially if this spreads to other states. If we see this in Chicago, New York City, and other places. We haven't gotten reports of that just yet, but we will see what happens next. Lots of media, approved media, showing up, trying to provoke. See, what they're trying to do is they are trying to provoke the federal officers into attacking the protesters. They want to control the video and the pictures so they can make it so that what instigated the attack is lost to history, but the violence used against the protesters is absolutely captured. We see buildings being looted, stores being looted, and Los Angeles police are just not there. They're just gone. They're not there at all. Federal officers are protecting the federal building right now, but they are not projecting that power across the city. They're kind of letting Los Angeles County police handle the rest of the city. But the situation is spiraling fast, and we will see what happens when more National Guard arrive. What happens there if they try to project that power across the city. But we are getting reports even now that National Guard is deploying to multiple areas of the city, preparing to move to places. We don't know exactly the plan or what's going to unfold next. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. We'll keep you updated as things develop. But if you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of The Poplar Report, out.